podcast character designs done by Demon Artie. Be sure to follow her over on Twitter at ArtieDemon. Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sin.
M15 PCA.
Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord, link in the description below. And if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. Star Trek Lower Decks episode 9, and this one is odd. Would you say it's the best episode?
By default, but that's not saying much. Again, problem is this could have been okay, and they just
they muddle the message.
Yeah.
Where no another thing that makes this better, this whole episode takes 90% of it takes place on the holodeck. Yeah. So all the crazy stuff that happens is on the holodeck. So okay, it's not really happening in real life. It's disturbing the things that Mariner wants to do, and the lesson she learns at the end is like, oh, that's a good lesson. Then they muck it all up.
Of course they do.
Because they can't just let her be wrong
Nope.
in what she was doing. They turn around and say it was a good thing.
Which is insane.
If someone does this person actually really needs real psychological help.
I mean, yeah, if you saw someone do this in the holodeck, you'd be like, yeah, we're going to take you away and put you in a place for a while.
You have like psychotic intentions.
Yeah.
You can, okay, so we start the episode up, and you were telling me that these people were in the cartoon series, right?
No, that cartoon, actually, in the first episode of Next Generation, first season, they were negotiating to a planet, and it was those kind of like dog-looking race people. And
those lizards.
Lizards, and they hate each other. But I don't remember them eating the lizards, but okay.
So that's what happened. So there's that race, and everyone knows how I feel about callbacks, and there's so many freaking stupid callbacks.
Yeah, really dumb.
Even like silly things like Da Vinci. It's okay. So they're like toppling the dog people. Like they're bringing down the statues like Saddam Hussein.
Yeah,
like in Iraq. Like what? Okay.
I mean, that's such an old, like, why would they even...
And Mariner has her like knee up on a thing. Oh, I liberated you lizard people. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is the holodeck. No, this isn't a holodeck.
No, this is actually happening.
She did this all on her own.
How did she get on this planet before
she just took a runabout and just landed and decided to take it upon herself.
Oh, because, they want to say, Captain, there's an unauthorized a shuttlecraft leaving the ship. They would know that.
So she goes to we don't see how she does it. Mm-hmm. She goes to the planet and, like, I guess liberates the lizard people because they're being eaten by the dog people. But, like, the lizard people are kind of dumb because she's like, oh, you're free now. What do you like to do? Well, I don't know. We like to bask in the sun. Oh, okay, you guys can do that, but no one's going to eat you. I guess that sounds pretty nice, but we are pretty delicious. So... it's like they don't...
Commander, first of all, it's an internal thing. It's none of your concern. It's none of Starfleet's concern. They're not Federation citizens.
So she does that, and then she's talking about how great and awesome she is for doing that. And my captain's going to come down here, and she's going to praise me and then thank me for doing this. Freeman shows up, and she's like, what the hell are you doing? Yeah. You can't just decide what's right and wrong for a people, especially when it has nothing to do with the Federation.
Yeah, this is against Prime Directives. Internally, and the Captain Freeman's right. You can't do this.
So... the only way this could have worked out is if I don't even think these people are warp capable. Or
I know that people do have warp ships, but I don't know about the lizard people though. But they're both on this planet, so they have to work it out.
Yeah, there needs to be like a peace thing, like they can maybe do a like a mediating. Yeah,
but the thing, both sides have to want to do it.
Yeah.
See, but that's up to them. It's not up for Mariner to decide everything.
It's up for Mariner to decide everything. Yeah. So she does that, and then she brings the Prime Directive, and she's like, oh, the Prime Directive. You're out of Starfleet. You're done. Yeah. You are done.
First of all, this is General Order 1, and you're defying it. As a matter of fact, and then Freeman said, I had enough of this. You go back to what you guys are doing and let him go, because...
yeah, she's like, I'm going to negotiate this. Basically, she pulls her daughter aside, and she just basically says, oh, if you weren't my daughter, you would be done. You'd be toast. And so a whole fate of a species isn't enough for her to get kicked out of Starfleet. No. My God. I know. What will she have to do?
Nothing. Mariner could do no wrong. She could break any rule because it's Mariner. And she goes, look, what are you going to do to me? Throw me in the brig? No, I'm just in the Mariner. You're going to get therapy because you need help.
So I guess they have a counselor, and of course it's more like, it kind of almost reminded me of Dr. Penguin from American Dad. Roger did his Dr. Penguin.
But the thing is, he wouldn't look like a doctor wearing a coat like that. He'd just wearing a Starfleet uniform.
Dr. Penguin. Remember, he'd wear the... it's almost the same as that kind of character.
He always have the patches on the elbows. I mean, might as well.
So she basically tells her, yeah, you're going to go do this. And oh, no, I don't want to do that. I don't need therapy. And she's like screaming and yelling at her mom. You're a little crazy. And it's all, oh, you never trust me. You're just being a hard ass on me. Maybe if you stop being such a bitch. She literally calls her mom a bitch.
This is in front of everyone. In front of the crew and everyone.
I know she pulled her aside, but I'm pretty sure they heard her.
Because
she's yelling. So could you imagine a scene where an ensign calls Picard a bitch?
Or Cisco or Janeway? Come again?
Oh my God!
They don't even like ensigns calling them by their real name. That's not professional, let alone that.
Oh my God. Could you imagine that?
Yeah.
I would have loved to see Cisco deal with something like that. It'd be like, oh my, it'd be over.
Oh wow. We're gonna have to, you're gonna be doing double duty shifts in the thing. As you've definitely broke protocol.
So Freeman goes and talks to the dog people. Will you stop eating these guys if we give you replicators? Can it replicate something? He's like, of course it can. And it goes right to the beginning of the episode.
Word cut. Word cut.
It is very abrupt. So replicators solved the problem. So wouldn't replicators solve like 10,000 other problems that happened in this series so far?
Oh, of course.
Remember when Mariner was giving away free farming equipment? Couldn't they just give them replicators to replicate those things?
No.
So it's whatever. Things only happen when they need them to happen.
Oh yeah, just for the comic effect. That's all it is.
So we get to the therapy session, and I guess this guy makes a lot of food references.
Yeah.
Oh, you get yourself in a real fruit salad. Oh, stop being such a prickly pineapple.
Well, because that's what she said he does too. Before.
Yeah, so he's dressed just like Dr. Penguin, and he's a bird person. So I don't know if I've ever seen these aliens before ever.
The funny thing is, I think they might have been in Star Trek, but it looks like an alien out of Futurama.
Yeah, very much. And he keeps talking to Mary. He's like, "Oh, you're Captain Freeman said you need to find, you need to be the officer she knows you can become." I don't know, man. She's just being very angry. I'm to the point where it's like, you really truly need anger management.
Yeah.
Because you are acting like an absolute freaking psycho.
She even hits the friggin' table.
Knocking things over and.
That's a therapy session you would find maybe today, not in Starfleet times.
It's a yikes. It is a maximum yikes.
Yeah, it is.
And so she's like, it's her. She's the one. She's the problem, not me. So she like hates her mom.
No, it's so ridiculous.
So then we get to the point to where from this point on, it's basically all holodeck.
Yeah.
So the other three dum-dums, you got Tindy.
Tindy, that's her name.
Tindy,
Rupert.
And they're skeet shooting with Da Vinci.
Because Janeway had Da Vinci on Voyager.
Can't they have something different? No. Does it everything?
Oh, remember that thing? That's all it is in the series.
Does everything gotta be a stupid callback? Everything?
It's too much, guys. It's bashing us over the head now. I don't want any more callbacks.
So then Boinglinger walks in. He's like, "Hey guys, can I borrow the holodeck? Because I want to go over I'm going to do an interview with the captain, and I want to practice my interview beforehand."
Yeah.
And he just like changes the program because they never said yes or no.
Yeah, bro, that was wrong.
Yeah, that was a little rude, right?
Yeah, you don't do that. You wait until they're over with. It's their time.
So he switches it, and it's the bridge. And he's like, "Oh," and this is another thing I thought was really weird. "Oh, I went to everyone's personal log so I can program the perfect version of them."
River's like, you can't do that. That's
But they just gloss right over it.
Yeah. What? No, they mention it one time and they just forget about it.
But isn't Brad straight lace and by the numbers? But he would break into people's personal logs. Is that something he would actually do?
No, he wanted to see. Now that's
out of character, right?
Yeah, and that's court martial. The only thing we do it if a crew member did a criminal thing, they can look in their personal files. But there's no investigation. There's no need to do that.
And he's like, "Yeah, go ahead. It's just like the real version of them." So he tries to talk. Sam Roofer tries to talk to the tactical guy, and he just like screams at him, "Oh, that's the same conversation we had this morning." Like, okay, we get it. The guy's like a psycho.
Yeah,
everyone on the ship's a freaking psychopath.
I know.
Then Brad's like, "Oh yeah, everything. It's an exact perfect replication."
And he's asking Freeman questions, so what not to ask her in the interview?
Yeah, or like even like stupid things that they do. Nothing to do with what the interview would be about. He wants to know like all these little stupid things. Yeah. It's like, Brad, be a man, damn Jesus, just be a freaking man.
And be confident in yourself.
So then this is when it goes psychotic. So
so this is just like her, huh? And then she just
yeah, I know what to do. She runs over and starts
look at her face right here when she goes to the panel.
She's crazy.
Look.
She gives some looks that are like, we really, I'm going to request the medical for you to be quarantine from the crew. Yeah. Then we get to a starbase, we're dropping you off, and you need to get psychological help.
This in 2020, you're going to go to a psych ward.
Yeah.
You got issues.
So I want to ask anyone who works, because since this is just a retail store in outer space, if one of your, someone, let's say you work on the loading dock and one of the guys has like violent fantasies like this, you would go to your supervisor, right?
Yeah, because you don't want them to do that at work.
Yeah, like if I was sitting down, my buddy came up to me, "Hey man, check out this story," and it's a story about him killing everyone, and I'm like, yeah man, that's cool. Then I go straight
to making a video game out of it. I'm like, yeah, I'm leaving now. That's weird.
That's super cool, bro. Then it shows me I'm the HR. You need to do something about this guy. So she reprograms it, and she's like, oh yeah, I know exactly what I want to do. Oh, it's going to be great. And she's like, she's going crazy. So she makes a movie.
Literally, it's a movie. What's funny, in that time, they don't have movies anymore.
She makes a movie, and like the actual like credits are on screen, and they're flying at them, and the credits keep hitting them in the head.
But they have safeties on. I wouldn't do that.
It's called Crisis Point: The Rise of Vintica, whatever. She's like, because she's vengeance. I like the name Crisis Point. That could be a cool Trek novel or something like that. This might be an actual reference to something that I don't know of.
See, now that's a callback we don't know. It's kind of could be interesting. That's one of the few callbacks I can see. Doesn't bother me.
So, everything keeps happening. He keeps getting hit in the head, and he's like, no. Boing's like, I just want to do my thing. I want to practice.
Brad always craps all over everything that Brad wants to do, every time.
And that's the funny thing is, Brad, he could have just walked out.
Yeah.
He didn't have to participate.
No.
So, but he's going to participate because he's just an idiot and does everything she does anyways. So, this goes on and on and on. Then we get the opening, thing.
Well,
and
they go changing, costume, and they leave him there.
And Brad falls like out of the sky into the water, and this whole part has like a film grain on it.
Yeah, it's like, what's she do?
But wouldn't it be like HD perfection? Why would it have a film grain?
Unless you made it that way. But why would she do that? Like, they don't know movies to the point that would do that. But
she does mention the 80s, so she tried to make it like an old Trek film from the 80s.
No. She mentioned 80s because they're in the year 22.
2080s, is that what it was?
2380s, that's why. Oh, this is the 80s, it's 2380s.
Oh, Jesus.
No, you were giving her too much credit, like that wasn't it.
I honestly thought that was the reason why it has a great look.
They're in the 80s.
Like a VHS look.
Well, look, we know what the 80s are. That's why. Stupid.
So they're like the crew's like jet skiing around. I'm like, is this a reference to Generations? Remember when they're on the boat wharf?
They were on the old like from colonial times. Yeah.
Yeah, old school like battleship.
Ships, yeah.
So they're like tooling around in jet skis and like having fun. So I'm like, is that a callback to that?
Probably.
But then Boingler's there.
And then you ask me what are you doing here? Like, he wouldn't be there, but it's a holiday.
I didn't give you permission to cruise around with us. Like, he wouldn't say it like that. But then he's like trying to ask, again, he's still trying to ask all these questions of the captain. And, the captain's like, I think you're asking the wrong questions because this is no vacation. Then they get an emergency call. Oh, vacation's over. Like, there's all those dumb jokes that you would kind of hear in a movie.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny, but has nothing to do with Trek.
No.
See, since I know this is all fake,
that's what made it a little bit funny.
It helps.
It does, because it's not real.
So they get to some starbase and everything's all cinematic looking. Yeah. Like even the camera movements are cinematic. Yeah. So they're making fun of the movie versions of Trek.
Oh, yeah. And it might be making fun of Discovery because they did a lot of stupid camera angles, too.
So they're talking to that one guy, remember that other admiral? And I guess this actually sounds like a cool movie. Like, this is a cool plot. He's like, oh, this planet sent us a message thanking us for second contact from some other ship. And they're like, yeah, what's the problem with that? That ship doesn't exist.
So what's going on?
So you need to go investigate that. And I'm like, oh, that's a decent plot. Like, that's actually kind of fun.
And then he sees the ensign there. He goes, what's this boy doing here?
Whose little boy is this?
Boy? I'm an ensign. Don't say
is that a reference to Wesley?
Maybe.
Because he was the son. Is that what that is?
It could be.
So that's their mission. I'm like, okay.
And that did make me chuckle a little bit. I'll have to admit a little bit.
Because like, whose little boy is this? Like, why would he say it like that? What an ass. So they're like, oh, the Cerritos got some upgrades. You know that sometimes happens in movies. And this joke would have been really funny if it was a minute less.
It goes on for 3 minutes.
It goes on for way too long. So you see the Abrams-esque, lots of the light leaks, and you get the flares.
And then the engineer's even crying. That made me laugh. Like,
so
it's so beautiful.
It does the first pass, the second pass, the
the
third pass,
not funny anymore.
the fourth pass, the fifth pass, the sixth pass, the seventh pass, the eighth pass.
I remember Brad asked Freeman another question.
He was always asking us stupid, silly questions that have nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
So it's about I think it's about 8 or 9 different flybys of the ship.
Guys, the problem is with the humor in the show, they go too long.
Then it goes to where the saucer is and it spins around a couple times.
Okay, guys, we get it.
It stopped being funny.
Yeah.
It should have done it 3 or 4 times, not like 9 or 10 times.
Exactly. So
it got all upgraded. They never
even playing the original Star Trek music from the movies. Yeah.
But the thing is, they never say what the upgrades were.
No.
They just said it was upgraded. So they finally land in there, and then again, Brad's still trying to get answers about things. Like he kept calling her ahoy captain, and then oh, don't say that.
Okay, he's off the wall stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, well, of course she's not gonna want to hear that, Brad. Why are you asking?
Why would you say ahoy captain? Yeah. And he doesn't say captain, he says captain.
Captain, yeah.
And he always says that. So I guess this is like a nervous tick of his.
Maybe.
So they get onto the bridge, and there's all the lens flares. I thought they were going to make fun of the lens flares, but they don't.
But yeah, I think it's only for the scene.
Yeah, it's in every scene, but it's way over the top in the bridge scene because, again, remember in the Aprons films, it was really bright. So she sits down. Okay, Captain, give it the order. You know that there's always that scene in all the movies. And would you say warp me?
Yeah, so dumb. Her call to warp is stupid. It's the worst one.
Again, engage, make it so. Those are so much more thing.
Exactly.
Punch it. Here's the thing. And then like the warp core goes off and of course it's all super crazy dramatic looking. Yeah. Okay. They get to the planet and then they do the thing. Oh, there's no Federation signals out. You know, classic Trek stuff. Yeah. Oh no, there's an enemy decloaking. So we see the enemy ship.
That's a Klingon bird of prey.
And but they're not Klingons though. It's Mariner, and I guess she's a Marauder. So assuming they stole this
with Telly.
Yeah, it's with her crew. So but it's only 3 people on this whole entire ship.
Know, right?
Tindy.
It made it funny because it made Tindy Orion slave girl, which is kind of funny.
But she's like a warrior queen or something.
Queen, yeah.
But she's dressed all super sexy, with like barely any rags on. And Mariner's like way over the top. Yeah. Oh, Captain Freeman, you're right into my trap. And like she's being super loud. And then even Brad's like, oh, geez, someone's really hamming it up. Yeah. Kind of making fun of, like some Trek villains are way over the top.
Yeah, the movies.
Okay.
I mean, it's...
So yeah, so then she like introduces her crew, and she keeps calling Tindy, oh, she's a slave trader and all those things. She's like,
and Tindy's like,
Tindy keeps trying to be like, dude, you're being a little racist to me, like, but she's so timid, she kind of lets Mariner keep doing it.
Yeah, you have a look on her face. She's like,
yeah,
no, I'm not that, but okay. Because again, it gets to a point where we're not pretending. You're actually making me feel like this is.
You're making me feel bad.
Yeah.
It'd be like someone saying it was Hispanic. Oh yeah, because you're an illegal border crosser and you like to do those kinds of things. Oh, you like to run drugs across the border. Whoa, calm down. Just because I'm Hispanic doesn't mean I'm a drug runner. Exactly. But that's how she's portraying it. Then she introduces Sam, and he's like, oh, he's man meat and machine meat. Okay, machine meat.
He's like, hi everyone.
But he's still nice. He's still super nice.
I know, you're a freaking space pirate.
And then there's another crew member who's supposed to be Brad.
This is where it kind of falls a little.
And see, instead of being Rutherford, he's Shimperford or.
Oh, he's a shimp. You know, like Simps. Yeah.
So that's the new insult. Like if this would have been made last year, he'd have been a cuck, right?
Oh, of course.
So that's like the new 2020 insult.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I just like being here, and I don't want to mess with it. I just want to do everything right. So he's like supposed to be like the most over the top, childish version of him.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Mariner.
And then even Brad's like, wow, okay.
Then they started like, oh, what are you doing here? What did you want? I wanted to prove you wrong in my vengeance. And see, in this version, in this world, Captain Freeman doesn't know who Mariner's supposed to be. So she doesn't know that's her daughter. Wow. She's like, what are you talking about? I don't even know you. Oh, I'm going to prove to you that I'm right. I'm not the bad guy. And she's like, crazy person, I don't know who you are.
And you are acting like a bad guy, so what do you want me to say?
Oh, I'm going to show you. I'll even prove it right here. And she kills the Brad version on her ship.
And then Brad's like, whoa, what are you doing, Mariner?
And, the captain's being a real captain. You didn't have to do that. Oh, yes, I did. And then she starts, like, quoting The Tempest. Like, all these, like, kind of, like, grandiose, like, oh, the Klingons loved Shakespeare.
Yeah, well, that one particularly did. And they yeah, exactly. And they even converted Shakespeare to Klingon.
Yeah. So it's a callback to that. Yeah. Then she's trying to talk to her, and then I realize, oh crap, this is it's on loop.
Yeah, Brad's like, oh, that's the way it's on loop. That's not her.
Then I guess they used that to get onto the ship.
They have shields up?
But they did raise shields. Remember, she said shields up.
I guess somehow they did. I don't know.
There should have been a thing like, whoa, our shields, got hacked or something. They should have added a line.
Yeah, a little bit. But...
So she boarded the ship, and this is when you go full red alert, right?
Yeah, and they don't.
They don't.
And they reference a scene back earlier in the series about like
that guy's show.
Yeah.
Remember? He turns around. I didn't see you there. And like one lady's like, "Oh, I loved your little show." And it's like, remember that in episode like 4?
And then literally the friggin' thing smashes them as they go into the ship.
We get really violent from here on out.
Oh my goodness.
Mariner has a disturbing murder fantasy from here on out.
Yeah, this is bad, guys. This is really bad.
So she just starts like shooting everyone, and
she's doing a disruptor, not a regular surfy phaser.
So they're
she's disintegrating them.
Yeah,
on the highest setting ever.
And even Rutherford and I can't believe I keep forgetting her name. Tindy. And Tindy like, whoa, these are people we know. Oh, it doesn't matter. They're just holograms. But she's so enjoying this.
Yeah, her look on her face like, yeah, look at these people dying. Like,
so she's starting to kick everyone's ass, and she's fighting and shooting people.
And they're shooting fishes back at them, too.
Which is kind of nice that people are trying to fight back, but of course they can't hit anything because no one knows how to aim. Then one funny line, even though it just literally makes no sense, some guy tries to run with the fighter, oh, take this, bitch. How did he say that?
That made me laugh.
But it has nothing to do with
But
training.
again, it's the Star Wars are one but since it's a holodeck,
yeah, it makes it better.
It makes it better.
But of course, she beats his ass, and then Tindy's like, and she's like, oh no, that was Ensign something, and he's like, whoa, so is everyone here? Is that other guy's name Beckett? Remember the chief engineer? What's his name?
Oh, Beckett.
And he's like, so is he here too? She's like, yeah, I guess. Oh, I can tell him anything I want. Yeah, it's programmed him. Oh, I can't wait to meet him. So he just
takes off.
He just takes off. I'm like, first it's trying to lead you to thinking that he's gonna like try to hurt him.
But we know how he is though.
Yeah. So, and then Mariner's like, oh, forget him. Just you and me. We're gonna do this. It's just us ladies. Then that guy tries to fight her, and of course she just goes around and keeps killing everybody. And look at these looks on her faces as she's shooting. This is something where they play it up as like, oh, I got that out of my system. No, when you have feelings like this isn't.
The thing is, because how dare they criticize her? How dare they punish her in the real world? So she's got to take it out on them.
Then the first in command, Ransom, shows up and he tries to fight her. Of course, he gets his ass whooped and he gets shot. And it doesn't kill him right away, which it should, because it killed everyone else. So he's like dying, and Brad's like, oh, you need to let me know. What's the captain's favorite cookies? He's like, what are you talking about? Oh, before you die, you want to let me know this? And he's like, cookies is a good idea. She has a sweet tooth. But remember, she's allergic to... And then she shoots him again and he dies.
Yeah. He starts giving me no. Yeah, because in real life, you'd be worried about
what kind of cookies she likes, right? So they're going to make their way to the captain, and she wants to kill her mom. Yeah. Which is like... This whole time, I kept pausing like... Mariner, you're gone off the deep end. I honestly thought she was going to get to a point where it's like, oh my God, I'm being a psycho. Spoiler, it doesn't happen.
No, not in this show.
Then we get to engineering and
he's got two faces.
Yeah, Riffer goes in there and, kills everyone but the main engineer guy. Oh, there's something I really wanted to tell you. And I'm like, oh, he's going to praise him.
Yeah.
And you're like the greatest engineer in Starfleet. That's so cool.
Why did you say it the way you did?
Yeah, like he went in there all crazy. Then he's like, thanks, you're like this space marauder guy, but okay. Then he's like trying to work the panel, like, oh, we need to divert energy from here. He's like, oh, and he starts helping him. It's like, what? I thought you were the bad guy. He's just
like, like, why are you helping me? What are you doing?
So it's like, oh no, if we do this, if we triangulate this and we can, Trek talk, and it's like, oh man,
you're pretty. Probably the best part of the whole episode.
Because it's just being nice to each other.
Yeah, this makes it funny.
So they get to 10 forward. Is this on the bridge?
No, it's 10 forward.
It's 10 forward, and then of course that Bajoran guy has like a giant like plasma cannon.
Yeah, like something that's not Starfleet issue.
Is that even a Starfleet weapon? It looks like a...
No, I think that's from another alien race.
That looks like a Star Wars thing.
Yeah.
Remember like in a Mandalorian, that big cannon thing? So he's all shooting it and everything, but I guess it takes time to charge. And then she cancels down, she just shut up, and she has a Borg head, and it has like the shielding. Would that even be possible? Oh, you know what? No, it is. It's the holodeck. You make anything happen.
Yeah, so that's
why. They kind of explain that later on.
Yeah, but see, that's why you can... See, again, the holodeck explains that.
So she does that, blocks the giant laser blast, and throws it at him, and then it, like, explodes. Yeah. We don't see it, but we see...
Blood's everywhere.
She explodes him and eviscerates his body.
And Cindy's like, whoa, my goodness, Mariner. What is going on with you?
And they're covered in his blood. Yeah. From, like, top to bottom.
Yeah.
It's just like a gore fest.
And then little Mary says, well, you're that space pirate. You like to steal things, and here's his earring. You want this. And
oh, yeah. Oh, look, his little earring. Once you wear it, yeah, it'd be so cool if you did this. She's like, that's like a religious thing, and that's his thing. Even though this is a holodeck, I don't feel comfortable. Oh, come on. This is your race. This is what your people like to do. You're being a little racist.
And Cindy tells her off.
She's like, whoa, full stop. You keep saying this stuff about me, and you're hurting my feelings. I'm not like that. Yes, some of my people did do those things, but I don't do those things.
Yeah, they stopped doing that 5 years ago.
Which is whatever. Even if you stopped doing it just yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
And then she's like, I'm done with this. You're acting like a psycho, and I don't want any more part of your freaking...
You're making me feel bad. I don't want to do this anymore.
I mean, look at Mariner's face right there.
I know.
Holding the viscera of her security officer while holding a religious thing that he carries with him. Yeah.
Literally, we don't have to explain how much a psycho she is. We could just show you the still shots and you would see it.
This is a crazy person. So Tindy's like, Arch, I'm done. I'm not doing your little game anymore because you're insulting me and my people. You're making me feel bad and you're killing all of our friends.
Yeah. You blew him up. That's not in phase. That's blowing him up with blood everywhere.
Yeah, like viscera. I mean, blood and guts everywhere.
Mariner, what do you think they're going to feel like when they get out of the holodeck and they talk to everyone? Oh, yeah, I just remember seeing you get rifled about 5 minutes ago. And that psychologically, you know, it's trauma. It's bad.
She calls an Arch and just walks out. I'm done with this. I'm not doing this. I'm glad Tindy stood up to her, which is great.
Yeah.
But in the end, it shows you that Mariner was right the whole time. This is where I thought, oh, they're gonna actually show that she was wrong.
Nope, they can't do that.
So forget you. I'm gonna get to the captain. The one that I'm here for exactly what I need to do. So she makes her way to the bridge, kills everyone on the bridge, but the captain.
They don't shoot back, which is stupid.
They want to shot her right on sight. So the captain starts talking to her again. And he's like, oh, I want to prove to you, you've been treating me crap since I was 8 years old. And again, this version of the captain doesn't know who you are. She's like, what are you talking about, you crazy ass person?
Yeah, you're crazy. She tells her.
She's like, oh, am I really crazy? Would a crazy person do this? And she's going to blow up. She ignited the warp core on her ship. So like that giant blast comes and hits their ship. Like, you're going to just kill yourself and everyone else too?
Yeah, look at this look with the fire in the background. What are you doing?
She's out of her damn mind. This girl needs real, honest to God, psychological help.
Yes, guys, I don't care if you say it's fake. It doesn't matter, guys. There's some deep-seated problems with her.
So the explosion happens, and it looks cool, because it's supposed to be the movie.
Yeah.
So the movie explosion.
And literally, the friggin' Cerritos is crashing on this planet.
Yeah, so we get because the warp core blew up another ship, we see the giant shockwave, it hits the ship, and of course, when the Enterprise crashed.
Yeah, Star Trek Generations. Yeah.
So like it has even the same shot. Remember, even in the Abrams movie.
Yeah.
Remember,
they did.
we see the flame and everything. So it's a really cool looking shot. Whenever like a ship goes down like that, it's always cool. Yeah. It looks cool. So it finally crashes, and then you can get the whole like there's breaks in this, like it's gonna be on TV. Yeah. Like it goes to black and then it comes back. So I'm assuming that would have been the commercial would have been.
And then like you see the bottom part and the cells break off, and it's just the top part and it's spinning like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, the saucer.
You did all this. What are you doing?
Captain wakes up and she's like. And then, like a real captain, all members of the Cerritos emergency transport get off the ship. I'm going to keep power running as long as I can. Escape, code Delta something. Cerritos
like
strong.
what a real captain would act like.
I love that.
Part. Yeah.
Then we have the deep-seated insanity of Mariner. Oh, stop playing the sweet, kind captain. You know that's not the real you. She's like, what are you talking about? This is what a captain does. Oh, and then you did this, and she's like, just hates her mom.
Oh yeah, hates her.
The girl just absolutely hates her mom. Get back to engineering. The chief engineer and Rupert is still alive, and I guess then this is where they make up some BS. She's like, oh, as we were crashing, I transported everyone off the ship. And he's like, how's that even possible? Oh, come on, it's a movie. You can just make things up, and that's how the movies work. And he goes like, okay, he just accepts it.
That's funny.
Okay.
Well, how would he know it's a movie? He wouldn't know it's a movie, though.
But it's so funny. He's just accepting the help of this raider guy. Like, he doesn't know.
And he gets wondering, why are you helping me the whole time?
So then, Mariner and the captain gonna have a fight. So she's like beating the ever-living crap out of her mom, and it's this whole like, oh, you never believed in me. Even when I was 7 years old, you treated me this way. And this whole time, she's like, what are you talking about, you crazy person? I don't know who you are.
Oh, you know. And she's like,
oh, you know what you did and everything. It's like, oh my God, did your mom like, I don't know, was super abusive to you? Or she just literally just wanted you to be a decent person?
Yeah, she wanted you the best you could be, Mariner. Sorry.
So she goes and continues, starts beating her up, starts choking her, knocks her to the ground, and full on punching her mom in the face.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I could make a holodeck program with my mom and me punch her in the face. I don't even know if I knew it was fake. I think I could do it.
Not only that, in the next scene, she grabs like a pipe that's spiky, and she's going to stab her mom with it.
She's going to murder her mom.
Mom, right there, yeah.
Murder her mom. Not like in a way that was like with the phaser, and he's like, she's going to impale her.
Was she going to stab her multiple times? I mean, my goodness.
Who knows? Yeah, sure. Why the hell not? But another Mariner shows up. So I guess this was the Mariner that was still in, because it was Boimler's program.
So he had a personality for her too.
So there was one for her though. So she jumps in there and she does the right thing. She's like, emergency transport gets her mom off the ship. Why wouldn't she get off the ship too and just leave her in the thing by herself? Like, there's nothing to save here.
No.
So it's Mariner versus Mariner, and this is the Goody Two Shoes version, but it's based off her own personal logs.
Yeah. So
this is you. This is based off of your own feelings. So we have the Mariner that's in her personal logs, which is her true feelings. Then you have this, I'm a badass, I can kick everyone's ass Mariner.
Shouldn't it be the other way around, you would think? It's ridiculous.
But it kind of shows that the crazy bitch Mariner is right.
Yeah,
It's weird. The message at the end is super muddled.
I know we keep reading about it because it's so disappointing. It really is.
Because her saving her mom, it should be the real Mariner. So they're gonna start fighting and everything. Of course, they always know each other's moves because of course they're each other. And then they start talking about, oh yeah, you think you know so much about me? Oh, I know you did this and you dressed up as this person for Halloween or something. I don't know if she referenced.
Oh, she mentioned Toby the Targ. It's a famous children's book that was referenced in Voyager and Next Generation. It's a children's book from a clean.
See, that's the crap I don't know.
Yeah, it's a holiday program.
So, even when you were too old to go trick or treating, so like she's like making fun of all the dopey things she did, but you loved doing those things. So you're only really putting yourself down?
Yeah, it's weird. Like this weird kind of like self, like, well, I hate those things even though you like them.
So she's starting to choke herself. And in this program, and she's super strong because you cannot pick an adult up by their throat like that. Go ahead and give it a shot. Can you pick up 115 pounds with one arm like that? No, most people can't do that.
No, unless you're like a muscle man.
And especially this Mariner's just of average strength because she doesn't look like she has any muscles. So she's continuing to beat the crap out of each other and they keep talking back and forth. It's like, oh, I know you too. I know that you care about the ship and I know you care about your friends and you care about your mom and you would do anything to save her. Which is true. Which is true of like 99.9% of people. You would do anything to save your mom.
Yep.
No, I wouldn't. She's the reason why we're like this and terrible. You know what? And you ruined our Captain Murder fantasy. Like she even says it. You ruined it. You know.
It's a fantasy to her. She's loving this.
Oh, and I'm gonna get rid of you. Literally beats her to death.
Almost. And she throws her down like 2 stories.
Yeah. Drags her by like her hair and
she hits her head on the bulkhead. It's like, oh my goodness, you killed yourself. You got some problems here, honey.
This girl is out of her damn mind. Yeah. So we get back to all the survivors and then we get this weird scene with the chief and Rupert. He's like, oh, I don't know who you are, man, but you're great on the ship. He's like, you know what? Yeah, you're pretty awesome too. I know this sounds a little crazy, but why don't we run away together and we make our own ship and we can diagnose the warp core all by ourselves and recalibrate this.
I said, Rupert, are you in love with this guy?
I thought he was in love with Tindy.
I know, right? Like
maybe he's just in love with the engineering
part. And he's part of it, and he's so amazing. We can work on engineering part together. See, this is generally funny. This has generally made me laugh.
And then like the cat girl's like, oh, you go, you crazy sons of bitches.
See, that doesn't make any sense, but it's funny. Because again, making a holiday makes it funny. It just does.
So they're the survivors, and then Brad shows up. Oh, Captain, I made you some fresh cookies.
A chocolate chip.
Yeah. Then that other guy, remember that guy that was dating his girlfriend? That black dude? He's like, the captain is allergic to chocolate.
Why would he make him? Like, why would you do that?
He made it everybody.
Yeah.
So, like, you're an assassin. So he's, like, getting his ass whooped. And he keeps trying to, like, what about this? Do you like this instead? And then the court, don't answer that, Captain. He's being a traitor. So he's like, the other guy's like, oh, that's the kind of things you say if you want for promotions. Like, it's like,
yeah, why are you beating him up for? He just can't give you cookies. He wasn't.
So he gets his ass whooped, and then he's gonna go kill him. First, I thought he was gonna just like arrest him or something. No, he's gonna go off and go kill him.
I know, right? How did he know that chocolate chip would be poisonous? He wouldn't know that, would her.
So they get down to the very bottom, and Evil Mariner and Good Mariner are talking, and she's like, oh,
you would never do this. Why are you doing this?
Yeah, this isn't the real Yoko. Yes, it is. This is exactly what I wanted. And then she's like, no, I know for a fact you care about everybody. I know. Because I know.
You're just super angry and going crazy about it.
Then she's like, that's how I know. One thing you didn't know about me. And she's like, yeah, I tricked you to get you down here because I set off the self-destruct. And it's going to go off. So the real Mariner would sacrifice herself to save everyone else.
Yeah.
Like a real.
Yeah, she would literally would have gotten like all the accommodations. Everything she did would have been forgiven because you saved the ship.
Yeah, you saved all the crew.
All the crew, yeah.
So it literally goes off, and she, in fact, sacrificed herself. That's actually really freaking cool.
And noble.
And it blows up, and so, of course, after the explosion, the
program ends.
Yeah, so and it's funny because that guy threw Brad off the freaking cliff. Like, he's going to just kill him. Wow, okay.
I know the safeties are wrong, because that would have been really bad.
So the explosion happens, and then it's over. And then, Mariner's like, oh, wow, that was interesting. I had to fight myself, and
you think, okay, maybe she's learning.
Maybe, what I would have loved it? She would have went back to the psychiatrist and like, you know what? I ended up kind of running this program. Yeah, it was and then, oh, wow, Mariner, this was really violent. Yeah, I know I was going through some stuff, but I ended up literally fighting myself. And then I realized how much I do care about everyone. Yes, I know my mom gets on my nerves, but you know what? I need to start putting my crew first.
I'm gonna give you a point of reference to this. Remember when Bashir would run the Alamo and they'd always lose? And then at the end, when Miles late, he couldn't run that program again, and he's with Esri, and he runs the Leonidas program. And then she goes, "You like these nihilist fantasies of being overpowered, right?" I go, "We got to talk about that in the morning." Yeah, even that was disturbing. These were fictional. These were characters that weren't part of Starfleet.
Remember that? See what we just talked about? They're in 10 forward. Whew! That was a great program. Therapy is awesome. So murdering all your friends is great therapy.
I thought Roofer got more out of it because he
was being
got
nice.
nice and he actually helped the ship.
So it's good. So have murder fantasies about your coworkers. Thumbs up.
That's disturbing, guys. That's troubling because the people in real life don't have a holodeck program. Yeah, they can make them out of video game if you know how to program, but even that's
then, I think
that's disturbing.
I wouldn't want you to work with me.
No.
If I found out you had a violent murder fantasy about me, and
disturbing.
And then we worked together, I'd be like, dude, I don't want to work with you
There's
anymore.
one thing, if you're a kind of person like you're with the coworkers, you pretend, we're on some adventure and it's like a RPG and we're finding the bad guys that are fake. That's different from that to this.
Or if, I guess what they're trying to maybe getting at, no, like the corporate retreat and we're playing paintball or something.
Yeah, but this is actually killing.
Yeah, this would be like getting the paintball gun and like lighting someone up to the point where they were screaming in pain because you kept shooting them so much.
Yeah.
It's disturbing. And the fact that they play it off as it was a good thing she did this.
This isn't Dungeons and Dragons. This is...
Yeah, you're actually physically doing it.
Yes.
So she's like, oh, wow, that was such a wonderful thing that I did. And then Brad's like, yeah, it was cool to be able to tell, the chief engineer the things I wanted to tell him. She's like, dude, just go talk to him. And like the Starfleet symbol with the martini
they wouldn't
olives.
do that in 10 forward. Well, it's the bar, so sorry.
Yeah, these call it the bar.
Okay.
He's like, no, I can't tell now.
He's so bad.
Look at him. He's a stone cold badass. He's just like eating soup. And he seems like a really nice guy. Just tell him, dude.
He's probably the most normal person on the ship. You know what? Maybe I might like him because he just acts like a regular
engineer. The chief engineer acts like a regular person.
Yes.
Except for when they kidnapped him and made him go on that mission.
Oh, that was...
But here he's like a decent guy. Then we have... the Mariner is going to apologize to Tindy. You know what? All that stuff was pretty bad. I shouldn't have told you all those things. But then Tindy apologizes to her.
Why are you apologizing to her? You did nothing wrong.
He'd be like, Mariner, thank you for saying that. Because you know what? It kind of really did hurt my feelings. But then she kind of like, oh yeah, you're all kind of right. A lot of my people are like that. Why did
you never be wrong?
Why it did that? Like I said, it was racist. It was like hardcore racist.
Yep.
And she should have been, you know what, Mariner, thank you for apologizing. And next time, try to be a little bit more sensitive about other people's cultures. That's what should have happened.
That would have been fine.
I'm sorry, too. You did nothing wrong, Tindy.
You did nothing wrong, Tindy.
You did nothing wrong. Why are you apologizing?
Because at first she's like, okay, I'll wear the get-up, okay. And now she's saying these things. She's like, okay, she probably didn't want to do any of it. And you took it too far, Mariner. You're in the wrong.
So they're going to go and like check out the warp core or something. Like, they're going to go like be best buddies. You walk by the captain. She's like, hey, Captain, how's it going? Like, she's like being super nice to her mom. And her mom's like, whoa, what's going on? Why are you acting like this? And he like kind of gives her like a fist bump and everything. Like,
she goes, I want to apologize for it. This is the only time she apologized and it was fine.
To her mom, she's, I was kind of off, when I was yelling at you on the planet. It was wrong for me to do that, and I hope we're still good and everything. Hi, fist bump. And the captain's like, oh, okay, fist bump. Then the captain's talking to the psychiatrist. Oh, she's setting up something.
She's planning something. Goes, why is she being this nice?
That's, if you honestly think that of your daughter.
Why is she on the ship? If you think that.
Then of course I can't. Did he have a name?
I don't remember.
Doctor something.
I don't remember.
He's like, I can't tell you what that patient
they
said.
can't. It's clientele.
Oh, you're being a prickly pineapple. And he keeps like saying the fruit things. And then she has a violent outburst and flips over the table and starts yelling and screaming.
You're a captain.
Just like her daughter.
Of course. She's more like her daughter than she realizes. That's why they can't get along with each other.
Then Brad goes back to his programs. He wants to finish up his talking to
them. But it's still Bonder Mariner's thing.
It is still running because she did literally mess up his program. Yeah. Then she's like, this is, memorial for everyone who died on the ship and for my daughter. If that was a secret, I didn't want anyone to know. And then Brad's like, oh my God, Mariner's your daughter?
Yeah.
And then she keeps going on and on. And if someone ever found out, I'd probably court-martial them. How's that possible? Why would you court-martial someone for finding something?
First of all, that's bad on you, not on them. Why would that be bad on them?
So this makes Brad have a freak out?
Like at first I'd be like, oh, I'd be shocked. Like, oh, wow, I didn't know that. But then the rest of it was like, why is he freaking out? Like,
so the program's over. The rest of the lower decks people come by. Marin's like, hey, we're gonna go check out the warp core. You want to go with us? And he's like, and she's like, oh yeah, fine, whatever. Well,
what are you doing? I just was asking.
So he's going to have his interview, and he's still like fidgeting and. oh, so Bullinger, where do you see yourself like in a peace negotiation in 5 years? And I'm Mariner, and she's like, Mariner, what about Mariner? Mariner's really hot. And she's thinking, what the hell are you talking? First of all, he knows that's her daughter, and then it's like that's another.
That's the worst thing he would say in that situation. What's wrong with you?
And then he's like, no, she's nasty. I gotta go, and he like runs out of the room. So he screwed over his interview.
Oh yeah, and then she goes, well, looks like
he didn't prepare.
We didn't prepare.
And so that's the end of the episode. There's also because I guess the program's still running.
Yeah.
And then I guess the evil Mariner got off the planet, and then revenge, and then Da Vinci comes by and blows her away with a shotgun.
But there wouldn't be.
Why would the program still be running?
No. Why would it be an evil Mariner? She was her. There was no evil Mariner program.
Yeah, but when the ship exploded, it killed her.
But that's what I'm saying. But there was no Mariner. She was the evil Mariner. Yeah. So why would there be another one? It's stupid.
Unless she went back in there and tried to keep doing it.
Maybe.
And then then
it would be Da Vinci phased her. Why is Da Vinci in there too? Wouldn't this the program end right there?
Yeah, he did. He literally shot her with like a shotgun. Like
but she disintegrated.
Yeah, I know.
So wouldn't she just the program end? See, it's stupid. It was just stupid. It was trying to be funny and it's stupid.
Yeah, it ended on a not funny joke. Yeah. So the best episode by default, super disturbing. Yes. I mean, absolutely ridiculous.
And that said, the best episode's the most disturbing one. That says something about the show.
Remember when Mud kept going back in time and killing everyone on the bridge?
But it was still bad, but Mud's a bad guy. But Mud's not that sadistic, and I had a problem with that. This puts Mud in nothing compared to this.
This is
because Mud didn't work with these people.
Yeah, I know.
That's insane. It makes it worse.
Could you imagine? Oh, you're in Tin Ford and you guys are having drinks together, and you're thinking, "Yeah, I remember in that program when I freaking eviscerated you with a freaking explosion." It's really creepy. Yeah. Oh my god, it's so creepy.
Like even when Tuvok made that program, Tactical Simulator, like say like if the Maquis took over the ship, there wasn't that violent. Because he thought it was really going to happen, so he buried it, but Milana found it.
Yeah.
And then we ran it, then Seska ran it all messed up. But yeah, because she messed it all up. It's like they wouldn't kill their... They weren't even killing their crewmates then. I mean, my goodness.
But yeah, one more episode. I guess I thought there was going to be an overarching storyline. So the next one's going to just be a standard episode. Yep. And I guess it's going to be all about Bullinger finding out that that's her mom.
Yep.
But how's that a storyline?
I don't know. It's stupid.
How's that a storyline?
Why is that matter? I mean, yeah, it was shocking when it's like, oh my goodness, he knows, but then they take it to... That's the problem with the show. When they have a little interesting point, it goes on too long.
But what happens with that? What knowledge does that give Brad? Oh, he's going to use it against her? I'm going to tell everyone else unless you do things for me. Was Brad that kind of person? I don't think he would do that.
And Brad's not that sadistic. That would make Brad a jerk. I wouldn't want
Mariner would do that.
Oh, of course she would. Because Mariner's, that's how she is.
And they make a program about murdering everyone again.
And then, my goodness, her eyes. Oh, yeah, I got him. My goodness.
She was enjoying the F out of this.
You remember, if you ever seen, like, if you ever watched a movie or the comic when comedians killing those Vietnamese, that's what she looked like.
Yeah, like it was like, whoa, bro. Whoa. There's war, and then there's what you're
doing.
But
that makes sense for the comedian to do that. This is Mariner. Why would she do this? It's people that she knows. And Tindy's like, these are people we like. These are our colleagues. What are you doing? You blew up the security chief. I don't know what to say to that.
I don't think Tindy shot anyone. This whole thing, she was just like running around with her.
Yeah.
And then she got off the...
Because at first she thought, oh, it's going to be harmless fun. She didn't think that was going to be...
Oh, it's a fun movie.
Yeah, she didn't think it would be a blood fest.
I do like that original concept about, it was someone else doing it, maybe trying to draw in Starfleet into something. That was a decent idea.
Yeah, it was. I want to see that, but again, they always do this in the show. There's a cool little plot that never goes anywhere.
Oh yeah, it was a millimeter of a plot, and they didn't expand on it.
No.
So yeah, one more week of this. Does Discovery start right up after?
Yeah, it starts right afterwards.
Oh jeez, give me a break.
No break. We don't get a break until January, Mike. I know, right? At least you get to see Suru, but I wish she was just in a better show.
But yeah, that's the end of this. I have no hopes for the season finale.
No, the murder fantasy.
This was their opportunity to make Mariner a real character and actually really have some reflection.
She was right. She got
all. That was a lot of fun killing all my teammates.
I'm sorry. After that, if I'm Tindy and if I'm referring Brad, I'd be like, I'm not hanging out with you anymore. You got issues, Mariner. I can't. First of all, Mariner, how can you work with your crewmates after you realize, oh yeah, I just killed you in the holodeck? In the most horrific ways possible. I don't know.
But she was right. Always right in the end.
Yep, never wrong.